Hello everybody, this is the Hilltop Craftsman, and today we will be making a leaf keychain out of this rod steel by Tractor Supply. I bought about the 6-foot rod right here for $5, so that's a pretty good deal. You can make a whole bunch of keychains out of it. Alright, some tools you need are these tongs right here. You need your forge and a good hammer. So first off, we're going to start up by heating up the steel in the forge. And that'll take just a couple of minutes for it to heat up at first. Alright, so you want to get the steel up to about a bright orange. It's almost there. You might want to stick it in there for a couple more seconds to get it a little more heat in there. And here we go. Alright, so what first off you're going to do is you're going to pound a point onto the end of the steel. You want to just hit and turn, make a square point. You want to kind of elongate it. So you want it kind of like a square point like that. And now what we're going to do is hit right here below the point. You want to leave about ½ inch of a little bit of meat on the end of that. And then you're just going to start hammering it and thinning it out right here. Alright, and that's going to take a couple more poundings before you get it thin enough. So I'll start videoing back when I get it thin enough. Now you see right here where I've thinned it out to a square and there's still a chunk on the end. That's going to be your leaf once you flatten that out. This part that I was hammering on just now, that's going to be the stem. Alright, so I've heated up that end right there, and what you're going to do is take, so you see the center of your hammer, that's called the crown of your hammer. You're going to hit it right on the meat spot right there. Until that widens out. And then you want to leave kind of a tip a little pointed. Ready? Okay. So once you get the leaf pounded out like that, you're going to take the stem right at the end of where you quit hammering, where you thinned it out, and cut it right off the end, right there. And then there's a half finished keyring. Alright. So, once you get that cut off right there, we're going to be working with the stem. So, you take your tongs and grab the leaf part of it to move it around and stick it back in the forge. So I'm going to heat that up right now and come back to you in a minute. Okay. Video? Okay. Once you get the end heated up, you're going to hold the leaf to where it's facing vertically on its side, and then you're going to start flattening out the end of the stem. So you're going to take that over and curl it over. So just make a little fancy little curl on the end of it. Alright, so once you heat it up, you could do this optional. You don't have to twist it right here, but we're going to add a little decorative twist. So all you got to do is grab it with the pliers right there and just start cranking it around. Like that. And then you're gonna take your wire brush, scrub that off of there, And there's your twist. Alright, so I've swapped over to the small anvil because it's got a better horn on it. And now I'm just going to curl this over. And make you a little loop right there. And there's your loop for your keyring. So, now we're going back to the leaf after we've curled our loop to put our keychain on. To make it look more like a leaf, we're going to put the veins in it. And what you could do is you could do this while it's cold. You could just take your chisel and you make a straight line up the middle of the leaf. And it's going to want to kind of shoot off there, so you make sure you got to hold it on there with the chisel. So once you get the line going down the middle, you're going to go diagonal up towards the point of the leaf, kind of diagonal like that, coming off these lines to make the little veins. About fell off there on me. Alright. So the texture or the pattern, the veins in the leaf should look a little bit like that. Now we're going to give the leaf some shape. We're going to take it on the horn of the anvil and kind of round it a little bit. And then we're going to take it, give it kind of a little shape to it, a little curve, make it look more like an actual leaf. And then what we're going to do is take your wire brush. It's better if you have a brass one, because once you get it hot and the brass wire brush will melt off of there and give it kind of like a gold color. But I don't have one right now because I lost mine, so I'm just going to use the regular wire brush. You want to make sure you get all the flakes off and scales. Turn it around, get the other side. Flip it around and get the loop of the keyring. Get that all shined up. Nice and shiny now. So then we're going to take a candle. This is the best thing to use. It's just some kind of old candle, wax you could use. And then you're going to take it by the very end of the leaf. Make sure you hold on to it and drop it in the dirt, because then I'll get all this dirt mixed in with the wax and you have to scrub it off and redo it. So what we're going to do while it's still hot is take that wax and rub all over it, and that should melt. That wax is going to melt on there like this. Make sure you get it everywhere, and flip it over. Get the back side. And then we're going to go over here to the forge and kind of wave it over top right there, kind of to bake that wax on there. But you don't want to get it real close to the forge because wax will catch on fire. Just kind of bake it right there. Make sure that wax bakes on there. And there is your keychain.